2023 was a historic year on the John Muir Trail. Winter brought over 60 feet of snow. That means tough stream crossings, snowy mountain passes, and one really broken bridge. Most people canceled their trips, but I found 3 groups that, despite the conditions, decided to make the attempt. This is their perspective. The John Muir Trail is a 211-mile trail spanning from Mount Whitney to Yosemite. 2 of the groups, Audrey's and mine, are heading northbound, while Robbie is heading southbound.
I'm Robbie.
And I'm Jen.
And we're doing the John Muir Trail.
The day has arrived. We are at the Cottonwood Pass trailhead, about to start on our JMT through hike, and let's go.
Just started the John Muir Trail.
About a mile in.
What are your initial thoughts, Ludo?
It's beautiful.
Yeah!
Spirits are so high because we haven't had to go uphill yet.
We're about to camp here at the top of Lyle Canyon and go up Donahue Pass. Tomorrow morning, early start, probably 3:30 or so. Feeling all right. Some mornings, you just can't walk anymore.
What you guys think of that climb? The Cottonwood Pass trailhead is at like 10,000 feet. So just immediately you're at high elevation. Of course, day 1, you're not used to it yet. Usually for me, it takes a day or 2 to get used to the elevation.
I'm really in pain.
First pass done, a bunch to go.
This is not the official water crossing. The official one is not passable, which says something considering what we're doing right now.
We found multiple logs that had fallen and they seemed stable enough, so we went for it.
Ibex, how are you feeling about tomorrow?
I just hate the idea.
Me too.
The following morning, we left our campsite set up and we hiked to the top of Mount Whitney.
I'm not the biggest fan of 14ers. I like being able to breathe, so I've been really nervous about this climb. Got the spikes on for the first time for this scary section. It's like straight down from here. And the snow is ice. That crossing was so freaking scary. I'm literally shaking.
We made it to Trail Junction, 2 miles to the top of Whitney.
Apparently we're at 13,000 feet. 14,000 feet is truly a special kind of hill. Welcome to the top of Mount Whitney. We did it.
So that's it. Summited Whitney, and Ludo and I went in 2 different directions. I told him to text me when he gets to the car, but I won't get it for several days. So that kind of sucks. Man, I guess I'm starting the trail for real. Like, this is how it's gonna be, which is really exciting. It's gonna be great.
The elevation more today than I was yesterday. Probably because I have my full pack today.
I'm sunburnt everywhere. Anywhere there's exposed skin, I'm burned there.
This is Tindle Creek. It's the worst one yet. Judy's going in to try it.
I'm pretty close to in over my head. The water is raging, and I just didn't realize how deep the crossing would be. It's nearly up to my waist at one point. I get through it, but this was a really challenging water crossing.
It really wasn't that bad. It's about 10:30 a.m. on August 8th, and it went up maybe a little higher than my knees. I'm 5'3". Not too terrible.
We've still had pretty significant snow travel.
Lost the trail for a minute during that snowfield, so I had to use my far out to navigate. I'm always really grateful for these, these GPS apps and things, because it can get a little hairy out here if you don't know where you're going.
We've been hearing a lot of crazy things about this little patch here on Garnet Lake, and it was super sketchy, but we took it slow and it was all right.
It's a little chilly this morning, really because I'm camping at high altitude because I wanted this view.
And that's Jen there behind me hiking, and it's starting to look pretty ominous.
It definitely feels like there's a storm brewing. Clouds are getting darker, it's getting windy, so we're trying to make some miles in case we gotta hunker down for a bit, set up our tents, and wait out the storm.
Pass is over there. Storm's blowing over, kind of whited out over there. Pouring rain, a little bit of a lightning storm, as you can probably hear. We came back down the mountain a little bit to seek a little bit of shelter. Not really shelter, just less likely to get struck. And having some couscous for lunch with some bacon.
Just sitting out in the rain. We are hunkering down as a thunderstorm comes in about halfway up our climb.
Some icy rain. Right now, major concern is not I just want to get far enough down the mountain so that when the lightning strikes, I'll be in the trees. The sky's a little angry today, but it's working for me. Cools me off. No sunburn, no mosquitoes. What a fantastic day.
The elevation profile of the JMT is both jagged and at a high altitude. It means that you're going up and down a lot. So rather than overall distance, we often refer to passes to denote difficulty, because passes are what makes things really challenging.
Here we go again. Pass day.
Pass day.
This is a 2-pass day. It's gonna be really rough. We already know it.
I am stoked. This is the first day that I haven't felt absolutely terrible out here on the trail. After a resupply day, the pack's heavy, doesn't matter. I've cleared a pass. I'm about to clear another pass. My feet are soaked. How am I doing? 10 out of 10, baby.
There's quite a bit of snow, trail finding that's required, but it's fantastic. It's going so well that I actually decided to camp up high to just soak in the views. I want a sunset and a sunrise, even though it's a little chilly up there.
One snafu we do have is that, okay, so there's this bridge
bridge has been heavily damaged by the snow.
It has been the talk of the town. Everybody on the JMT this whole year has mentioned this bridge being down and what you're gonna do about it. Are you gonna try to do this or that?
And it seems like there's about half the crowd is just going for it.
I'm looking for an adventure, and I think I'm gonna find one today.
And the other half is taking this really long detour.
Today is the day that we have to hop off the JMT, take the reroute around the San Joaquin River Bridge.
So we're taking off our pack and assessing how difficult, how sketchy that is. Trying to make a decision here.
Across, very sketchy, would probably not recommend.
I cried after.
Don't do it. It was terrifying.
Woo! They don't make them easy here in the Sierras.
Very successful day yesterday, finishing the first half of the bypass around the bridge, getting to the South Lake Trailhead, getting a hitch down to Bishop, getting back to the North Lake Trailhead to finish the bypass. Sorry, there are a lot of mosquitoes out here this morning. So we are now officially back on the JMT.
After the bridge, I was in need of one last resupply, so I headed down to BVR. It's a sanctuary for our hikers, a chance to get a shower, a meal, and I had mailed food there so I could restock.
Here it comes, the BVR ferry. This is the store and cafe building where you pay for everything. This is Mushroom City. This is the campground where hikers can camp for free. This trail has been really tough for a variety of reasons. The terrain is really tough. There are so many creek crossings. A lot of times it's so hot and so sunny. You can't find shade anywhere. It's been really mentally and physically exhausting. So for me, the highlight of this trip so far has been BVR. Dory, get out of here!
Because Audrey and I were going northbound, the nature of the trail changed after BVR. There was no more snow, the water crossings were all mellow, and the high passes just weren't as high.
I just feel like we went from a trail that was really not maintained at all to this much more smooth, well-maintained trail where we can actually make miles fairly quickly on it.
Meanwhile, Robbie and Jen were having the opposite experience.
Mir Pass, and we're pretty exhausted and cold and wet, and it was about a nine-mile approach or so this morning to even get to the final ascent up this pass. This is wild.
All right, it is 5 p.m., 4:45, something like that. We are at the top of Mir Pass. The Mir hut is right in front of us. Robbie will pan towards it. And we are miles and miles and miles from any other person. Took us 9 miles to get up here, and we have 4 miles down. And this is probably the most wild thing and the most backcountry thing I've ever done. Backcountry seems like an understatement for what this is.
Yeah, this is insane. I mean, the last several miles were literal scramble over boulders, loose rock, and snow that is quickly melting in the most exposed section in the Sierras here.
That's why they have a hut here.
That's
It is emergency hut for storms.
All right, here, yeah, come look at this shelter here. Like this, it's literally this stone hut over here. It's a little musty inside, but that's to be expected.
I used my last couple of days to soak in as many of the beautiful landscapes as I could.
Done with the woods, let's go!
This is our final day on the JMT. We have exactly 12 miles to get down to Happy Isles in Yosemite to finish up our trail. But we're gonna try to finish a little bit earlier in the day, I think, than originally planned, because there's apparently a big tropical storm coming into the Sierra.
But we hear there's a storm coming, a snowstorm. It's August 18th, and there's a snowstorm coming in 2 days. So we're getting a little bit worrisome.
We can't get to our original exit point where we were gonna resupply before the storm hits, and it would be over some major passes, which would become really dangerous. The rivers are already flooded, and it's just gonna flood even worse. So we found a side trail that goes over Sawmill Pass. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit, go over that pass and exit before tomorrow afternoon when that storm starts to hit us. Well, we have some bad news, guys.
Don't make me say it. Because then if I say it, it becomes official.
I know.
We have to leave the trail and go home.
Today, 20 inches of snow on the passes and the peaks that we gotta go over now. Of fresh snow on top of what was already there, which was several feet. So cold temperatures, fresh snow, lots of rain, 3 to 5 inches of rain. We don't have the gear for it. We're not prepared. It's wildly different than the weather we've had so far, so we are just not able to finish the trail with what we have. We exited at the right time.
Oh God. Not the way you want to finish a through hike. Truthfully, this section has been a nightmare. There's been so many people. Congratulations, guys. We did it. We're done. I'm very happy about it.
To end on a high note, I wanted to climb Half Dome to end the trail. I've had the opportunity to climb Half Dome many times over the years, and I felt like it would be a fitting end to the John Muir Trail. The JMT was absolutely amazing. It is one of the highlights of the time that I've spent outdoors, and this year could not have been a better year for me to do it. The rugged and isolated adventure in the southern portion was an absolute gem. After that, I got to meet more backpackers and kind of cruise into Yosemite, and I also love that the trail ends in Yosemite. I always think it's really cool to see so many people enjoying the outdoors. I want to thank Audrey and Robbie for letting me use their footage, which allowed me to put this film together. If you would like to see any of our full-length JMT videos, they are linked in the description below. Thanks for hiking with me. Until next time.